Hey guys, this is Elena Allsrue. Some of you may know me at ElenaRose620 on Instagram, and I just wanted to thank you all so much for joining me today. It's been about a week since I put out another training video, and I'm so excited to share this last week of training with you guys. This is the 2 days of training I had before I left for Colorado. I had an amazing time. I worked out there as a health coach at a retreat called Faithfully Rooted. This was awesome because it was a mixture of yoga, strength training, cardio, healthy eating, including cooking lessons, and beautiful scenery and music that just really spoke to my soul, as well as really good teaching about self-reflection and about how to find joy and meaning in your life. I worked as a health coach and was able to sit one-on-one and help people as they did the different parts of the day, kind of body, mind, soul, and spirit, and was able to help them really find what they were excited about and what they could find joy out of life in, and included fitness and healthy eating. And I can't wait to tell you guys more about it, so you'll probably hear about that a little bit throughout the video, but I just wanted to share with you. Last week went really well. I got my deadlifts in and I got my overhead press in. My legs really need some good work because I missed my squat day, but it's okay. Sometimes you just kind of need to get a change of scenery and do something different for a little bit. I love the yoga. It was a blast. So I look forward to you guys joining me during this training video. Thanks so much. Hey everyone, welcome to the commentary for this week's training. This is Elena Allsrue, and I'm so glad you guys are joining me. Today I wanted to share a little bit about what I did out in Colorado. I know I talked a little bit in the intro, but it was just so cool not to talk about. I think I'll be maybe having a couple videos that come out with different topics of what happened there, as well as I'll just discuss a little bit of the training that we're doing here today. As you can see, we've got some tire flips, sumo deadlifts, abs, and some grip work, which will really help with farmers. Here's that. I'm going as fast as I can because it's so hard to hold on to that implement, but great training and great work with footwork and just paying attention to what you're doing. So super cool. I got to work as a health coach at a retreat out in Colorado called Faithfully Rooted. And long story of how I met this girl, Michelle Spadafora, but she is awesome. She lives in Evergreen, Colorado with her family, and she has an amazing nonprofit where she helps people integrate fitness and faith and food. And she's been starting to do these retreats, and I had the privilege of going to work as a health coach, so I got to work one-on-one with helping different people find what their joy and meaning is and what they want to do with the talents that they've been given and what they're learning on this like self-reflective journey. But the cool part of what we got to do, there's so many cool parts, but I got to do a lot of yoga, which I really love actually, and I never make the time to do, so you might be seeing me do more of that. I really enjoy it because, I don't know, I love meditation and I love being mindful and I love movement. And then they played some really encouraging music, and that kind of leads me to something else. They talked a lot about kind of like the analogy of us being like a tree, and it really matters what's going in your root system. So what you're putting in your body really matters for what kind of fruit, and we're still with that metaphor, like what you produce on the outside. So a lot of fitness is about, and eating is about that quick fix to try to modify your behavior some way so you can get some kind of desired result. While that's all fine, and we can, I help people with that all the time, what really matters and what promotes lasting change is what happens on the inside. What your motivation is behind what you're doing, using self-reflection to look in and see, hey, what's in the way? And they focus on like, what lies am I telling myself that I'm believing about myself, and how is that getting in the way of me growing? And the whole point of growing is to find your life's meaning and purpose, because that's really what creates the most joy. And Michelle's husband, Jeff, is a life coach, and he was in a whole corporate business world working with all kinds of people, and who had, multi-million-dollar industries. And at the end of the day, people really wanted to find fulfillment in life. They had all the money in the world, and they really just wanted their life to matter. And so this retreat was about finding like what
you're meant to do on this earth and how to find joy and meaning in life. And I'm going to pause out real quick. This is my 195, my top set for Sumo Deadlifts. And if you see Andy in the background, she was kind of giving me some pointers on grip work, but Brian also gave me pointers on spreading the floor with my feet and keeping my butt low. And that really helped me. And these actually felt pretty easy. So I'm going to really ramp up my Sumo Deadlifts and really try to excel with that, because that should be a lot closer to my actual deadlift. And then here's the deadlift party. I love all these ladies working so hard. We're planking, we're doing deadlifts. They're powerhouses and incredible women. I got to spend the weekend with other incredible women who are just kind of focused on growing spiritually, growing mentally, learning about healthy eating. I loved the cooking classes. That was probably the highlight, because if you know me, I have a hobby of loving to cook and loving to make taste come alive and just make food fun and exciting. And, at the end of the day, I just love sharing it with people and love the joy of that. It's a creative outlet for me, and I got to learn from a really wonderful chef there. And then we had some good times of quiet and some the music. My favorite time was on this mountaintop. You'll see a picture on Instagram. If you don't follow me, I'm at ElenaRose620, and you'll see this picture of a bunch of people doing yoga on top of a mountain near this beautiful stone chapel. And that was probably my favorite moment, because it was live worship music, and it was just, all about just putting good stuff in my heart and mind. I am enough. I am loved. I am made and designed for a beautiful, unique purpose, and to not compare to what anybody else is doing, but to just settle in and get rid of trying to be perfect, get rid of trying to control everything, and just be, and try to receive love myself, and love others. And that was a theme I walked away with, that you can't love others purely and fully without receiving love. And for me, that means receiving God's love for me, and then receiving the love that other people have for me. Take a compliment from someone, say yes to help, really let that sink in. And a lot of us just don't do that. And then also letting that free flow to really look in the mirror and say, I love who I was created to be, and not try to minimize. So much of my life I used to minimize myself and try to hide my body and try to hide my abilities. But you know what? People are inspired by that, and it would be really selfish to hide that. So I really hope the love and the humility, I really hope the love comes through, and that I just want to encourage people to find joy and hope and meaning in life. And that's what I'm all about. So I felt really encouraged this weekend for a number of different reasons, and I'll probably share more about the intricacies of the weekend. But change comes from the inside, guys. What comes out on the outside is just a show of the hard work that you've been doing behind closed doors. And whether that's in your mental health life, in your relationships, in your finances, in your job, in your workouts. We all see people's bodies, right? And that's just the most outward appearance of what we've got going on the inside. But really, do that work on your soul. Do self-reflection. Be honest with people. Those things that you hide in the dark, they're going to come out later somewhere and sometime. So be honest about what's going on. Having trouble doing double unders. Some days they go great and sometimes they just don't, but no. So what you see is what you get here, guys. This I'm proud of. I will say I'm proud of this. 130 for 2, probably the most solid I've ever pressed, and the most solid in my core I've ever felt. And a lot of times that's what doesn't go well for me on the overhead press. Many of you have seen me fail on 150 many times, and I actually feel great about this. I'm going to be trying 150 pretty soon. Felt great about that. Thanks so much for joining me.
These shirts are awesome. They say loved, and welcome back. I just wanted you guys to see the really cool t-shirts that were made by Michelle Spadafora at Faithfully Rooted. I'm so glad you guys joined me during this training video. I hope listening to my last couple days was inspiring to you. I know I'm inspired to maybe do some more yoga and really take some quiet time and really soul search and really make sure that I'm doing the things that I should be doing to find joy and meaning out of life. I love working hard. I love training hard, and I'm really happy that you guys got an opportunity to kind of hear about what I did, hear about my training, and how sometimes you need to open your mind up and try different kinds of training as well, and how that can provoke a different response from your body. I learned places that I was kind of tight and sore, that I needed some extra work. I just had a really cool time. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough.